All right, so as you know, we have been reteaching some stuff that we've already learned. And this is this week as well. So it's this week and next week, just kind of reviewing stuff that we've already gone over and making sure that we have it good before we do our last unit of the semester. So that includes multi-step equations. That process can be broken down in just about 4 steps. And I listed them here under the success criteria, because that's how you know you're successful. If you can do all of those things, then you can solve multi-step equations. All right, so always the first thing is to distribute first if necessary. So you won't always have to distribute in every single problem, but if you can, then that has to be done first. Second is combine like terms. Again, you may not have to combine like terms in every single problem, but that should always be done after distributing. Then third would be to move the variable to one side of the equal sign. So it doesn't matter what side, does it? Just pick a side and move it. Use your inverse operations to make sure that instead of having x's on both sides of the equal sign, that you just have one x that you're dealing with. Because once you get it to one side, the next step is to isolate that x or that variable, whatever it may be. And the way that you isolate it is using your inverse operations. So undoing what's being done. So I always tell you start with what's farther from the x and then work toward getting it to cancel out. And then whatever you do on one side of the equal sign, you have to do to the other side. So that's basically the 4 steps. The last thing I added in there is how to check your answer. So how can you check your answer? Once you find a value for x, plug it back into the original equation. Now I know that can be tedious sometimes, so I don't really expect you to do it for like every single problem that you do. But if you're taking a test, which you will on Friday, and it'll have some multi-step equations, then probably take the time and plug it back in just so you know that you're ready. So that is what you'll do. Today, if you want to just check your answer by looking at the key that's on the back wall, that's fine with me. I'll be checking for work shown and completion tomorrow at the beginning of class. So if you don't finish it today, my last class got like a ton of it done. Maybe just had like 5 problems to do. You know, get those done. And I'm looking for work shown, not just having the letter. If you need to show work on a separate piece of paper, that's fine. But you need to show me that separate piece of paper when I check it. Otherwise, you don't get the full points. Questions about that? All right, so if you don't get the full points when I check it, you can just upload it to the link in Schoology. So it looks like that, the link in Schoology. Also, I am recording now. I'll put it in here, just the one example that we do together. And if you need more than that, you can watch the video from earlier this year when we did the lesson. All right, and then we're testing Friday. Also, Friday's the deadline for late work from the grade folders. So we'll do one together. And I'll pick a different one than I did first hour. All right, so let's do from column 1, let's do number 6 together. Hold on, looks like we're having internet issues. So column 1, number 6 is what you all should be looking at. So we have 8x minus 2, parentheses, x plus 9, equals x plus 47. And then I'll write the steps over here as we go through it. So what is the first step always? Distribute. If necessary, so you don't necessarily have to distribute in every problem. You guys know when you need to distribute, what that looks like? you have parentheses, maybe they're adding or subtracting inside the parentheses and there's a number on the outside, and you need to distribute that number. So what are we distributing in this one? A -2, good. So remember to keep the sign that's directly in front of each number. So we're multiplying a -2 by both the inside numbers. What do we get when we do that? -2x minus 18. So multiplying. Questions about that part? All right, then bring everything else down. We have an 8x. Bring down equals x plus 47. So we did step 1. What's step 2? Combine like terms. You guys know what like terms are? All right, so those are numbers that have the same exact variable. So like, let's look at the left side of the equation. Are there any like terms that I can combine? Good, what's 8x minus -2? Good. Sorry. So yes, 6x is positive. Bring everything else down. There's nothing else to combine with that -18. Is there anything on the right side of the equal sign that I need to combine? So just bring it down then. And now we're on to step 3, which is what? Good. Move the variable to one side. Doesn't matter which side you pick. It doesn't. Personally, for me, I like moving the smaller ones because I don't like dealing with negative numbers a whole lot, but you can do whatever you want. So for me, I'll move this x. How do I cancel it out? Good. So subtract x on each side. 6x minus x is 5x. Bring everything else down. So minus 18 equals x minus x is 0. So it equals a positive 47. So now the variable is on one side. What do we do next? Good, we isolate the variable. That's when you use your inverse operation. Undo what's being done. So always start with what's farther from the x. So what's farther from the x, the 5 or the -18? And how do I make that -18 cancel? Good. And whatever you do on one side of the equal side, do it to the other side of the equal side. So I have 5x equal to what's 47 plus 18? Good. And then what's being done to the x right now? Multiply by 5. So opposite of multiplying by 5 is good. Do that on each side. They cancel over here. I just have 1x, which is really just x. And then what's 65 divided by 5? 13. 13. That is correct. And it's positive. And then I'll double check my answer key, but I think we did it right. I could check my answer by plugging it back in, but I know sometimes that's a little tedious. You guys can just look at this key back here. And if you're not getting the same answer, then I highly suggest you ask me. Sometimes it's a small mistake, sometimes it's a big mistake. Like you're really not understanding something that I need to fix. So let me know if you have questions. I'm perfectly fine with you working with the people immediately around you. I don't want you like moving really at all, but like if you want to divide and conquer between the person next to you, that's fine. Just make sure you have work shown for all of them. Any questions? All right.